The altcoin is not a political movement. And just how much does the public know about Bitcoin? And guess what? More free Stellar Lumens coming your way. But you got to be fast. All this happening on episode number 13 of the Bad Crypto Podcast. Buckle in. Here comes the liftoff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
Who's bad?
And welcome to the Bad Crypto Podcast, the show for the crypto curious. People like me, Joel Com, and my co-host, Travis Wright. Hey, Travis.
Hey, Mr. Joel Com. Happy, this is actually the eclipse day that we're recording this, so happy eclipse day to you.
I came, I saw, I eclipsed, and the great darkening happened. Although in Denver, it was 92% eclipsification, and honestly, it really didn't dim all that much, so I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, I'm here in the Kansas City area, and I specifically chose a campground to go to, and it was raining. And so it said all week, not going to rain, it's going to be beautiful. And then so, I did what any, super dad would do in that moment. Let's break down our camp real quick. We're going south. Let's find cloudless sky. And we got to see about 5 seconds of totality. It got really, really dark. You got to hear the cicadas and the crickets coming out. Really dark, really creepy. Got to see it just a little bit through the clouds. Pretty cool.
Well, what is it, another zillion years until it happens like this again. Hey, what do you think of the new tagline that I came up with? The Bad Crypto Podcast, the show for the crypto curious. Do you like it?
It's not bad. Not bad at all for people who like to buy crypto.
Would that make them buy curious?
They would be buy curious. Very nice, yes.
I didn't even know you were setting me up for that one.
I totally knew I was setting you up for that one.
Hey, the Bad Coin giveaway carries on, my friends. If you have not gotten your 50,000 free Bad Coin from the Bad Crypto Podcast, then go to the Facebook page and look for the big image of the big red Bad Coin and the instructions for setting up your free BitShares wallet and claiming your Bad Coin will be there. I know we've given away millions of Bad Coin. Millions. And here's what's really interesting is that some people have listed some for sale and others have already bought Bad Coin on the BitShares exchange. So I guess there already is some value to it because some people are thinking maybe these guys are going to be doing something with this and there'll be inherent value.
They are wrong, but we are actually doing stuff with them. It's just a fun project that we had chatted with Michael Taggart over, who's the evangelist at BitShares, and we said, how cool would it be to create our own coin? And so we did, and there's going to be some uses for the coin down the road, and so
we just don't know what.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out the mechanisms of it, and attorney stuff. What can we do? What can we not do? What should we not do? What should we do? So we're figuring out all the things. But instead, we said, hey, we're just going to give them away, and we've given away almost more than there are Bitcoin in circulation, right?
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
17,
all I know
18
is
million, something.
We're bad. We're very
so bad.
Very bad. So we got a message from Thailand. Why don't you read that?
Yeah, Jeff Fiklo from Thailand. He sent us a message. Greetings from Thailand. Love, love, love the podcast. That's 3 loves. That's a lot of love. I've listened to all episodes, fun and informative. As a result of your show, my 13-year-old son has turned his Alienware PC into a Bitcoin miner, racking in Bitcoin while sleeping and in school. Best part is he's learning about blockchain and cryptocurrencies at an early age.
You're never too young to crypto. And I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, he's
cool.
putting his PC to good use and mining while he's not playing Call of Duty or whatever he's doing.
That's right. My son he's 15. He's doing the same thing. He's actually had some challenges. He was trying to mine Monero, And so he was going through that whole process, and he got a hiccup in the road, and then so we're working on getting that figured out. But I think that's great. He's very interested. He'll come down and let me know, hey, Dad, did you see Neo? Look at the price of Neo today. Oh, whoa. So he's getting into it, which is pretty fun and exciting to have your kiddo being part of the whole shenanigans as well. And actually, if you were part of the Lumens first giveaway, he actually was the one to send them. So put him.
Oh, awesome. Well, more about Lumens coming up this episode. And the message from Jeff is just one of the many that we get from you. And here's a voicemail that came in from Jesus.
Hey, Joel and Travis. My name's Jesus. I've actually been listening to the show for about 2 weeks already, and I think you guys are doing a great job. So I've actually been researching about cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology for about 2 to 3 months already. And it got me thinking recently, all these cryptocurrencies exist because of blockchain technology. So my question is what is to stop all these industries out there that blockchain could potentially disrupt to making their own platform using that same blockchain technology and make all these other cryptocurrencies irrelevant?
A fantastic question, Jesus. And by the way, there are no stupid questions, only stupid people that ask stupid questions. No, I'm kidding. Well, not that, there are stupid people, but
there are a lot of stupid people.
Yeah, you're our listeners, and you clearly are not. So all of your questions are brilliant. Well, this one about blockchain, I think, it took me a little bit to understand that there's not just a blockchain, right, Trev?
There's blockchains. There's many of them. Actually, each one of the cryptocurrencies has their own blockchain technology, or they are building on the backbone of an existing blockchain technology, utilizing some of those other services, right? So
right, because Litecoin, it uses the same blockchain technology as Bitcoin, right? It's built on the same blockchain, but many of the currencies are creating their own blockchain. A blockchain is a technology, but then there's individual blockchains that are used to transmit blocks of data depending upon the token.
Absolutely. So your question is, it's an interesting question because his question is, what's going to stop all these industries out there that blockchain is going to potentially disrupt from creating their own form of the same blockchain technology, right? And to make all these other cryptocurrencies of their own. Well, that's one of the interesting things that I've done some research on to see, because the dollar is the world's global reserve currency, and people who are in charge of the dollar really want the dollar to remain in power. So I would assume that they are going to create their own sort of blockchain technology down the road. It's probably already in development, and so we'll have to take a look at that. I think that all of them are built on their own blockchain technology, and so they have their own processing and process that they go through. And if you're really interested in secure privacy overall and making sure that nothing can disrupt these down the road, I think Monero is the one that has the most privacy built into it. So I think that's an interesting one that I like to take a look at. I'm not making any financial, investment advice at all. I'm just saying that's a very, very secure one. So if that's one of your issues, you want to make sure that you are staying secure and private, then that is one of the coins that you might be interested in from an altcoin perspective.
And speaking of disclaimers, make sure you read the disclaimer on our website and listen at the end of the show so that you take full responsibility for your money and your investments. And now let's put on our Walter Cronkite hat and go to the news. And now the State of the Market Report with Travis and Joel. Travis, what's the state of the market?
The state of the market is wonderful.
There be coins out there, matey.
There's treasure, matey. There be gold in them hills.
You always see this picture of these pirates kind of biting into a coin, to make sure it's real. How do you bite into a Bitcoin with just a little bit?
Yeah, just a little nibble, just a tiny bite.
Bitcoin's hovering around 4,000 right now, and there's already some fear, uncertainty, and doubt again about the next fork, which is supposed to take place in November. right? The hard fork where there's allegedly going to be another change in the code, and maybe some miners will be on board and maybe some won't. And of course, this is what's contributed to Bitcoin Cash still being relatively strong. As of this recording, yesterday it hit 900. Today it's back around 600. Let's talk volatility here. Ethereum is a little higher than it's been, peaking out around 320, and Litecoin hitting 48 as a high today. So definitely a lot of uncertainty. And by the way,
nice bounce too. Ripple bounced up 24% today. It's up to almost 20 cents a coin after chilling around 15 cents for a long time. So that's interesting to see that one bounce.
And we're going to talk a little bit about Ripple today in our altcoin segment. Travis, I posted a poll on my Twitter account yesterday. Joel Poll. It's a joelpoll.com. I've got about 870,000 people following me on Twitter. So when I post a poll, you watch the votes come in real time, really quickly. And I gave you a screenshot of it. The question was, how much do you know about Bitcoin? And I really wanted to gauge, how new are people? And why don't we go ahead and review the results? There was still 8 hours left, but there was 1,808 votes when I took the screen cap.
Yeah, there's about 2,000 votes now. And if you're asking me how much I know about, I've never heard of it. What is this Bitcoin thing? Sounds interesting.
So what percentage of people said, we gave them 4 choices. I've never heard of it, but no idea. I know just a little, and I know quite a bit. And Twitter only lets you have 4 responses when you make a poll. I would have put a 5th one in there between I know just a little and I know quite a bit to gauge, what those people were. But why don't you go ahead and review the results for us?
The 5th one could have been, my name is Satoshi Nakamoto. So I know a little some. So 13% have never heard of it. That's wild. Like, where have you been? Are you under a rock? You've never even heard of Bitcoin ever?
They live in Iraq? What?
They live under Iraq in old Babylonia. 33% of them have heard of it, but they have no idea about it. 39% they know just a little bit of Bitcoin in my life, and 15% know quite a bit about Bitcoin. So
Well, that's really telling. So if you add up the I've never heard of it and heard of it but no idea, they're pretty much in the same basket of complete newbies, right? So that's 46% of the people that responded utterly clueless about Bitcoin, self-admitted. Not, it's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's not been in their realm. And then another 39% that know just a little. Now, I would like to know what it does just a little mean, but would you say, if you were going to answer it now, would you say I know just a little or I know quite a bit?
Well, I think that since we've done this show, we've been taking information in by the fire hose, right? And so I would say that where I am now versus the rest of the population, I mean, we're probably in the 99 percentile of people who know about cryptocurrencies at this point, just because it's still such a nascent space. But I couldn't go out and code any blockchain technology on any business. I mean, I couldn't.
Well, you're never going to do that. That's not your gig. But
I still haven't really fully figured out how to make mining work effectively yet. I mean, so it's like, so I don't know what level of knowledge do I have. I'm not sure. Somewhere in there.
Yeah, I would. Well, I mean, I would put myself between I know just a little and I know quite a bit, which is why I wanted the 5th response. But it just goes to show you that we are still in a new industry that is still in the early adopter phase. And even though Bitcoin is hovering around $4,000, there are those that predict that it could hit $500,000 in just a few years. And I don't know. There's so much volatility. Who knows for sure? But, you mentioned mining, and there's a story that popped up on Bloomberg Technology, and we'll put this in the show notes. It says these companies stand to gain the most from the cryptocurrency rush. And it's really, it's not about companies that are issuing cryptocurrency. It's about those that will benefit from mining.
Yeah. And, there's actually a an old parable about that from back in the day, that when the gold rush of 1849 happened in California, there was so many people who rushed out there to stake their gold, right, and mine it. And the people who made the most money were the ones selling the mining equipment.
The
Right?
picks and the shovels, right?
The picks and the shovels. Those were the ones that made the most money. So they're saying this in this article here that, NVIDIA, they have a lot to gain on this because they manufacture the graphic processing units that are used by gamers and by digital currency miners, right? So some of these GPUs can cost as much as $1,200. And that's quite a bit of money.
Yeah,
And,
I have an NVIDIA card because I'm a gamer, and mine was probably about $300 about a year ago. And remember, we talked in a previous episode, in the episode about mining, which for those that are interested would be episode number 4, Bitcoin mining, what the fork, that I tried mining Ethereum, and I felt like it just ate up every bit of my computer power where I couldn't do anything else on it. So I will not be mining.
Yeah, he didn't have the power. It's getting kind of hectic. It's getting kind of hectic.
If I had done that, I would edit that out. But since you did it, I'm leaving it in. Yeah. So NVIDIA
You're
is
a hater.
certainly.
You are a hater.
I hate when I do bad, but I love when you do. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, is another company. They make their Radeon graphics cards that are in demand, apparently from Ethereum miners. Look at there comes Ethereum again. Of course, the old standby is Intel, because allegedly if it has Intel inside the processor, it's supposed to be able to do some great work mining. And the last one is Micron Technologies out of Boise, and they are the largest U.S. maker of memory chips.
Yeah, and check out the growth that some of these companies have had. So Nvidia, they've climbed 45% this year in their stock value. They've tripled in the past year, more than tripled in the past year. AMD, they've almost tripled in the past 12 months. Intel, they've only gained about 17% in the last year or so. And Micron Technology, they have more than doubled in the past 12 months. So clearly, cryptocurrency mining has had an impact on those 4 companies. So good stuff.
Yeah. So there's more to making potential money investing in crypto than the crypto itself. And on that note, let's do some training. What do you think?
Let's get into it.
Hey guys, my name is Angelo from Chicago, Illinois. I really appreciate your podcast. I've learned a great deal. My question for you is, I'm trying to better understand what the functional use is of all these alternative coins that are out there. I understand with a Bitcoin, I can actually use it to purchase some product at different retail sites that are out there. But I think when it comes to all these other alternative coins, I'm trying to just understand what is their functional use. Obviously, I could sell them for US dollar. I could sell them for other coins, but maybe it would be helpful if you could give us some real examples of how some of these coins would be used aside from just trading them for cash or other types of coins. Thanks a lot.
Angelo, great question. So I would say these, we have a link here in the show notes that goes over 70 of the top different altcoins and the problems that they're looking to solve. But that's interesting is that they are solving unique problems. And that's how you determine, really, that's one of the factors of how you determine which of these altcoins is a good investment for you, right? So if you're taking a look at this and you say, which ones do I want to invest in? Well, you want to find one that has a strong team, that's using strong technology, right? And so you can go and read the white paper and whatnot. But you also want to know who or which of these companies are solving unique problems. And so there's a lot of these different ones out there. I mean, there's 1,000 different cryptocurrencies and crypto assets out there. And again, we've talked about in the past, some of them are no good and they call them shit coins. You don't want to really invest in those. They don't solve problems. The ones that do solve problems are the ones that will inherently have the most value. So for example, if we're just talking about Bitcoin, what is the problem that it is aiming to solve? Well, the world economy is too connected and the long term is unstable. So Bitcoin is a long-term investment vehicle separate from fiat-based instruments, i.e. dollars, fiat currency, which is printed out of thin air. So it's a way to hedge a bet on the U.S. dollar. That was the original purpose of Bitcoin when Satoshi Nakamoto came up with it back in 2009 and said, "Hey, the 2008 crash has just happened. We need to find a way to build a better money." And this has inspired all kinds of different new currencies.
Right. And in a previous episode, we've talked about Ethereum and how it's built for a different purpose. And that is with all these ICOs that are taking place, Ethereum creates a platform that issues smart contracts. They're legal contracts, because you know how paperwork can be, right? But Ethereum builds the whole contract system into the token and the exchange of it. And it allows really a lot of these companies to go public with a coin offering in a really simple way. And so if you want to know more about Ethereum, look back on the episode titled Welcome to the Ethereum. Now, there's another one that both you and I have invested a little bit of change in, which is the Chinese counterpart of Ethereum called NEO, or formerly known as Ant Shares.
Absolutely. And NEO/Ant Shares is exactly what Joel said. It is the Chinese counterpart to Ethereum. Now, traditionally, Joel and I are in the technology and marketing space, and if you've noticed, they don't allow Google really in China. They don't allow Facebook in China. They instead have created their own technologies that they utilize, and their own search engines and their own sort of social networking platforms. And then they have Alibaba, which is one of the largest technology companies in the world. If not, I'm pretty sure that it is China's top technology company at this point. I've not looked at the list recently, but so they normally like to do it on their own and build their own technology. And I noticed this back when it was $2-3 a pop, and I said, man, wow, if they're able to execute and become China's Ethereum and building smart contracts on top of that, then this could be a really, really interesting one. And so I know Joel and I have both sort of jumped on this one, and it's gone over $50, and then it's gone down to $30-something, and it's kind of hanging out.
Yeah, it's currently sitting at $35.47, which is really, it had a great run. It had been sitting around $5 since early July, and then multiplied 10 times. So, these things work a lot like stocks. You have a solid run, a big run up, and then people take money off the table because they're looking at massive profits. And then it finds a new base, right? This new place on the timeline in its market cap that
it's the space-time continuum, Marty.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. Thank you for helping me find the right words. And if it finds stability there and the company continues to issue news which demonstrates they're moving forward, then it could help to lift the price on the next rise. And if you look at Bitcoin and NEO and most of the currencies that have risen over time, you'll see this pattern. It goes up, comes back a little bit, and rests and finds a nice stable area where, what do they call it? Where it not a convergence,
it's almost like they do a little sprint and then they're like, okay, we got to take a little break here. We got to get a breather.
It's like they
all right, let's go.
Do a little dance, make a little love. Bitcoin tonight. So anyway, NEO solves a really unique problem, and I thought we'd look at a few of the others that we really haven't mentioned much in the past. And one of them that caught my attention is Dash. And Dash is a really consumer friendly cryptocurrency. And one of the things we're going to seek to do as we bring in people that are conducting ICOs or that have existing currencies is try to find ones that are easy to understand and relevant to a mass consumer market. And Dash is one of those because they say that digital currencies should be consumer friendly. And so their goal is to have a process built in the network that makes it easy to fund marketing and development of consumer-friendly products.
Yep, and it is one of the 5 main crypto coins that are popping up in those ATMs that we've been seeing around, right? So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Monero, and what was the other one? Do you remember?
Yes, don't remember. But Dash is currently number 8 in market capitalization with a $2.1 billion market cap sitting at $280 per coin. It actually had a nice little run up this week. I'm not sure what the news was, but the circulating supply is low. It's less than half of Bitcoin. There's only 7.5 million and change Dash that are in circulation. So really be interesting to watch them. What do we got next on the list?
Next on the list after Dash, we have Waves. And Waves...
Amber waves of grain.
Amber waves of grain. So it lists their problem as ICOs on Ethereum are slow. They should happen much, much faster on an easier platform with a decentralized exchange. So they're sort of going after Ethereum and the ICOs, and they're doing it in their own unique way. So that is interesting. Have we seen?
Did you download
ICOs on Waves?
Yeah. So have you grabbed the Waves wallet?
I'm not sure, quite frankly. I got so many wallets, Joe. I got wallets in my wallets.
Your wallets are right next to your stack of silver coins.
I think I do have the Waves one. But if I do, I've not played with it as much as I do my silver.
Okay, it's pretty interesting. It's a Chrome plugin that opens up the wallet, and obviously you buy Waves and either buy them on the platform or transfer them into the wallet, and then you can exchange a number of other currencies on it. What I found most interesting is that on the Waves platform, you can create your own token, your own currency, if you will. You know, we created one on the BitShares platform, and for the currency we created, it was something like $23 worth of BitShares, but you can create a token on the Waves platform for one wave. And right now, a wave is, I'm looking for it, $4.36. That's all it takes for you to create your own token. Now, I'm not sure about the utility that token can have, but if I wanted to go on there and just create Joel coin, I could do that for just over $4 and have my own token that I could then issue and I guess make tradable.
You could, yeah. And it looks like I do actually have that particular, that we were thinking about, right, building our currency on Waves, and then we discovered how easy it was to do it on BitShares as well, so we decided to do that. So I do have that wallet as well. So yeah, again, these are solving different problems. And what's the next one on the list? We have Gollum. That's the guy off of Lord of the Rings, My Precious, right? Is that his name?
Yeah. So
what's his name? Gollum.
My precious. So Gollum, here's the idea behind this utility is that your computer sits idle a whole lot, right? It's when you go to sleep, perhaps you're gone to the office for the day. What's that? I don't know because I work at home all day. But the idea behind Gollum is that you should be able to rent out your computer processor time for a number of different tasks when you're away.
Well, my computer is actually a laptop, and I take it with me. So and I don't know if I want it actively burning up all my juice while I'm gone. I'd be like, oh, my computer only lasted 2 years. Thank you. That's good. I got to buy a new one now. Does Gollum help replace that?
Yeah, certainly there's a lot of questions behind that, and I think that it's still in alpha testing right now. As you know, a lot of these, realize when you choose to invest in a altcoin, it could be at any place on the development map. Sometimes it's just the idea and the concept that you're buying into. Sometimes they've already got, an alpha or a beta, and other times they've got a product that's ready to bring the market, and they're just raising funds with the ICO so that they can fund bringing that product to market. And this will always show up on the website, in their white paper and their timeline. So next up, we've got one that you and I can both really relate to because it is focused on the idea of content creators being paid in a currency that's decentralized for the content that we create and post to social media. And it's called Steem, Steem.
Steam, get on top, Steam.
I see. Wait, what? Who did that one?
That's Prince.
Okay, I was thinking of Peter Gabriel.
Ah, okay.
Because
Totally
he
different.
did. I won't steam. Yeah, totally different song.
different
Hopefully,
one,
y'all are now singing along and Googling these songs. I really like the concept behind Steam, and they have a platform that's called Steam It. So steamit.com, and you can open your wallet there and you make posts like you would on Reddit or Facebook or wherever. But if people comment or upvote or re-steam, which is a way of saying sharing or retweeting, you actually earn real Steam currency into your wallet.
I just claimed my first amounts. I just logged into my account. So you should connect with we don't our Bad Crypto podcast one is not we've actually submitted it, but it hasn't approved it or activated that account yet for some reason. So he is Joel Com and I am at TWTEEDUBYA. So if you are on Steemit, go follow both of us because we'd like some followers there. But what's interesting is I just claimed some rewards. So I just got 2.67 SBD, which is the Steam dollars, I suppose, right? What is it? The SBD Steam dollars? Yep. And then I also got 3.4 Steam power. So the more Steam power you have, the stronger your votes are. So if you vote and upvote somebody's comment or upvote somebody's post, then you're actually contributing dollars to them, which is interesting.
Yeah, I don't fully understand that yet. I know it's there, and yay, I'm glad it is. I just don't fully get it. And
some people are making some big fat cash. If you go to steemit.com and then click on trending, you can see like the articles that have happened. So first dude, Steam Exchange that almost always has deposits and withdrawals working, $297 it's made. Ron Paul on Anarchy, running for president in the Federal Reserve and Bitcoin, $385 this person has made by blogging. It's got 955 upvotes and 170 comments. And so it's interesting to look at this and see, you know, I've seen some articles that have had a couple grand worth of money that people have made. So if you are a blogger and love to create prolific content, this might be a place that you want to get engaged on to earn yourself some crypto, because you could then take your crypto that you earn here, trade it on out back to the exchange, and those Steam dollars are worth what, $1.20 right now, something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Here's another example of a currency that has its own use. It's called Ripple. And we've talked about Ripple briefly before in passing. It's one of the, number 3 or 4 in market cap right now, but there's billions of them in circulation, and it's something like 18 cents today. This is a coin that was developed by the banks, because in a banking system, there's all these different ledgers, thousands of ledgers across all these different systems around the world, and Ripple aims to make moving cash from place to place a lot simpler. It's a way more efficient system, and it's super fast. Like, I've moved Ripple before, and it's not like Bitcoin where you're waiting 10, 20 minutes for the token to show up.
You're like,
yeah.
what the hell the Bitcoin?
It's Lightning, not to be confused with Lightning payments, which are something that's coming to Litecoin soon. And along the same I'm having a hard time with the words today. Words are hard. Along the same lines as Ripple this is going to come full circle, are the folks we spoke with just a couple weeks ago at Stellar Lumens. And
actually the founder of Stellar Lumens was also a co-founder at Ripple. And so the idea behind that was to take what was working at Ripple, get rid of what was not working, and build a decentralized way for these banks to connect. And what was interesting about that, when we're going through that conversation and how there's a unique problem they're solving, is, so say, for example, you have a Wells Fargo dollar. So you have I have $1 in a Wells Fargo account. Well, that is a Wells Fargo dollar, right? As opposed to just a regular USD. So because it's tied to this particular institution, and maybe there's a Chinese bank that you're trying to transfer money to, and they have whatever the name of their bank is, they have a yuan, and you want to be able to transfer that. Now, traditionally what happens in financial institutes is maybe it goes from, Joel's in Denver, Colorado, so maybe it goes from Denver, and then it goes to New York City, and then it gets transferred over to London, and then it goes to Switzerland, and then it goes to wherever else, and then finally it gets to China, right? It's not it's not an
my currency is seeing the world. Like, I want to go where my money's going.
And it takes a lot of your money to do that, right? You take a lot of traveling, it costs a lot of money. So those remittance fees for a lot of these currencies are really high, and especially in these third world countries, right? And so what's happened a lot, like say, for example, you're in Nigeria and you have the Naira, Nigerian Naira, and you want to transfer it to someplace else. Well, traditionally, banks are charging you, in some cases, 20% of your money. And if you're only making $100 a month and you're sending $100 and you're basically 20% of that's gone. Now, what happens if you use Stellar Lumens is that's just like a percentage of one lumen, and a lumen is like worth a couple of pennies. And so it's saving folks so much money. The goal is to actually be the bank for the help the unbankable be bankable, right?
So it doesn't cost them a fortune to send money. And on that note, it's time for a Stellar Lumens giveaway.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep, that's right. We told you guys we'd be back this week for another giveaway. Last week, we gave away Stellar Lumens to the first 100 people that, what did they have to do? Oh, they signed up for our newsletter, which, by the way,
we have a ton now on the newsletter.
Yeah, which, by the way, you guys can still sign up for the newsletter, but you don't get the Stellars for signing up for the newsletter.
You do get firsthand information of upcoming things, so it's definitely behooves you to do that.
We need to update that page so it doesn't show the Stellar giveaway on there, Travis. This is actually like now we're doing administrative stuff while recording the podcast. But if you want to sign up for the newsletter, and you do, go to badco.in/news. But if you want to be one of 100 people that we're going to give away 500 lumens to, then here's what you do. Send an email to badcryptopodcast@gmail.com and put "I want lumens" in the subject line, and then put your email in anything else you want to say into the text of the message. But definitely put your email in there. The first 100, based on the timestamp as they come in, are going to receive 500 Stellar Lumens each. And that'll close up round 2 of our giveaway. We'll have a new way to give away 500 to 100 people next week. If you've already claimed lumens and you try to claim them again with the same email, it'll say you've already got them. So don't try to double
and then
dip.
You're going to get mad at us and leave us a 1-star review because we wasted your time and didn't give you any lumens. We had that happen twice last week. Somebody was mad because they already claimed lumens somewhere else or something.
I don't want to get down on that guy. I think he feels bad for. I don't want to gang up on anybody. But hey, send an email to badcrypto.
I don't mind ganging up. Let's do it.
At Gmail. You're such a bully. Why you got to be a bully? Badcryptopodcast@gmail.com. Subject line: I want lumens, or gimme lumens, or anything with lumens in it. And then in the text of your message, put your email and say anything else that you want to say there. The first 100, we will send you an invite. If you don't get an invite, it means you weren't one of the first 100 to do it. And of course, we are grateful that you listen to us, and we love your reviews, whether they are on iTunes or our Facebook page, or you tweet us on the Twitters or follow us on Instagram, all the places. It's fantastic. And thanks so much for listening to the Bad Crypto Podcast. And we've got a review here from an unknown user who came to us on Podbean. Is that an app?
Podbean, yeah, that is I believe that's a Android and iOS app to listen to the podcasts.
What did it say?
This one said, the Cheech and Chong of the crypto world. Nice conversational podcast. They lay down the basics very nicely for this newbie, which is ideal. Makes it easy to digest, which is great.
Who is it?
It's me, Dave. Open up. I got the stuff, man.
Who is it?
It's me, Dave, man. Open up. I got the stuff.
Who?
It's Dave, man. Open up. I think the cops saw me come in here.
Who is it?
It's Dave, man. Will you open up? I got the stuff with me.
Who?
Dave, man. Open up.
Dave?
Yeah, Dave. Come on, man. Open up. I think the cops saw me.
Dave's not here. Stay back.
Who's bad?
The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor.